6:30 p.m. Yeah, in India will be, what about Sriram? For you, it will be 7 o'clock, right? In the morning.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. No, only I think I need to, wait till 1 o'clock in the early hours. That is called to 1 for me. If you're saying 6:30, um, oh, 1 second. It's not 1. I think 11. 7 to 6:30, 7 plus 5, 12. Yeah. So the session should be between 12 to 1 in UK timings. So 1 plus 6 hours. 7. I think how many sessions you want? All weekdays you want? I mean 7 sessions in a week you want, or we can take some 5 sessions. I mean weekdays so 3 and weekends 2 sessions. Will that be okay?
That will be okay. At least it will give us some time to basically even practice, and catch up.
That's true, really. I know daily session will be even
yeah. If
can't we
and
have
also
it on an alternate day?
yeah, that is also good for me. Weekends you plan continuously, Saturday and Sunday. Anyway,
Sunday we can have continuously, and alternate day we can plan otherwise.
yeah, that's okay. Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, Sunday.
Like tomorrow we can have one session. Tomorrow is Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So nobody should have problems. So we can have the session same time what we are having today. Okay.
Excuse me, hold on for a sec. I think what you call if we are only having 4 sessions a week, then it will take way long time, man. I think at least we need to.
Sriram, what I'll do is weekend session I'll make it 1.5 hours. Okay.
No, I'd rather prefer 1.5 hour every session, and over the weekend at least 2 hours, if you can, because by the time everybody talks and all those stuff, the 1 hour is gone for no reason. Frankly speaking, the productivity of 1 hour is not really 1 hour. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I do agree with you. Productivity of 1 hour is not actually 1 hour. Okay, there will be queries also. So keep the session 1.5 hours. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll plan for 1.5 hour session, and
keep it alternate days so that we have the time to practice in between.
yeah, really. Okay, fine. That's okay. 1.5 hour in the sense again. Alternate. Anyway, weekdays, how many days it is coming? I just want to think. So probably I will work from home on Friday. So it will be good if we have a session on Friday. So even I'll get up a bit late in the morning also. That okay, because I'll be wake up till 1:30 in the. I mean, according to you guys, I'll be wake up till 1:30. So then I think Friday morning we should have one session, and Wednesday morning, and probably Saturday, Sunday, and if you want, then we can make it up Monday as well. We'll see, but that should be in a 1 hour session, not more than that.
Let us fix the time first. Okay. So what time basically we are going to have? It is 6:30 p.m. in India.
Yes, 6:30 p.m. in India. That is the days are like Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wednesday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that I think.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So they are 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And over the weekend, Govardhan, can you squeeze it to what do you call, or stretch it to about 2 hours? Is that possible for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, basically, I think we have lost too much time right now, and I don't want to basically keep on dragging,
Agree, definitely. I'll stretch it to 2 hours, no doubt, on weekends. Okay.
Okay. So at least tentatively we agreed upon the schedule. So let us continue, and then whenever you have a chance, can you please send us the schedule and the course content, whatever it is.
Yeah, maybe not by tomorrow's session. I'll send the course content and schedule information by the next session, not the coming session. That is the Wednesday session. Okay.
Okay, that's cool. So that, and one more thing, Samir. Basically, if once we agree upon the time, I don't. We'll try to adhere to the schedule as strictly as possible. Because if anybody cannot make it or whatever, we will have the recording session or whatsoever, but we don't want to repeat the same thing again and again.
Who is this talking?
This is Sriram.
Yeah, but everybody is interested to complete the sessions as per they also having the equal interest. Okay, so we
That's
want.
what I'm saying. So the bottom line, what I'm asking everybody to basically participate on correct time. That's what I'm asking. Even
Yeah,
if
but
it's me or whoever it is, you know, if
just a minute.
there are about 5 people, right?
Yeah.
If 1 or 2 people are not available, if we need not to stop. That's what my perception is.
Okay, good.
We should start 6:30 sharp, 6:30 p.m. sharp in India. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a minute. 6:30. Just a minute. 6:30 p.m. will be for me in Eastern
1
time. It
o'clock.
will be. No. I am in Eastern time. Okay. So
Okay.
6:30 will be my time. 8 o'clock.
Okay. 8 p.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Okay, Eastern time. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it will be my initial meeting starts from 7:30 or 8 o'clock generally in the morning times. So that is my limitation. Can we have ahead of time 1 hour at least so that I can make it morning?
Oh. Okay, but I can see that Ravi, see, for me it's okay. Actually, ahead is for better for me. But Ravi has got a problem. I think he's thinking he won't be able to reach the home till 6:30. That's what he's saying, right?
See, 5 o'clock we finish
Yeah, it's not
office.
possible for. Yeah, it's not possible for me before 6:30, 6:15.
But
6:30
can't you
will be
make it
ideal.
a few days, right, so Ravi? It's only 2 days in a weekday. So can't you make something, coming a bit early or something? It's not possible for you? 2 days in a week, not all the days, right?
Actually, see, the office timings are strictly 8 to 5, so even I cannot reach there before 8 o'clock. It's very difficult for me. There are no buses here. Reaching before 8 o'clock is very difficult.
It's really across the geography, really it's tough.
So how many people are from India?
Hello, Govardhan.
Yeah. Who? Shravati?
Yeah, I'm Shravanti. See, regarding the timings, we'll schedule daily morning 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Or 6 to 7.
8 o'clock.
6 to 8. Or 6 to 7:30, 1.5 hour.
6 is little early. Okay. Make it 6:30 in the morning.
Are you talking about India time, Shravanti?
Yeah.
Yes,
6:30
yes, Amit.
And 8 will work for all of us then.
Yeah, that's what. Everyone will be fine for that timings. Okay. Javed, if you say 6:30, then it will continue. Then it will start at 7 o'clock or quarter to 7. We will make it at 6:15 at least.
6:15.
Yes. And daily class will be there, regular classes, because there is a lot of content in the SRM. Regular classes will be there. Okay.
So we are talking, guys are talking here 4 days a week. Okay.
No, Shravanti, what we discussed is like, 1.5 hour session, not for 1 hour session, 1.5 hour session on weekdays, 2 sessions, and 2 hour sessions over the weekend, 2 sessions. That's what,
Yeah, if everyone is okay, I don't have any problem. Because
Yeah.
we need to complete the course as soon as possible, because it was delayed for them many days.
Okay, actually on Saturday and Sunday we are going to have 2-hour session. Okay, on Wednesday and Friday we are going to have 1.5 hour session, right? Okay, and the timings what Sarvanti is saying is if morning, then we can have 6:30 morning. Okay, 6:30.
Javed, two days you can adjust, right? Only for 2 days, 6 to 8 class will be.
6.
No, not 8 till weekdays, 7th. It is only
6 to 7:30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 to 7:30. 1.5 hour session should be there.
Acha, okay.
Yeah, for me no problem. 6 to 1:30.
Yeah, everyone
people can
will.
speak with what they are.
Govardhan, you continue the session. Everyone will be fine for 6 to 7:30. I'll convince Javed.
Sarvanti, Dormir, dictator, please. Okay, make it 6:15 a.m. Okay,
Okay.
please. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, please think about me as well. Very odd time for me, Shamandi. Really, it is
Yeah, I know that.
6:15. It is 12:30. Where then I know again next day morning I have to go to office. 12:30, 5.5 hours difference. I am behind the India timing. So if that is the case, you are saying 6 o'clock also. Then that is 12:30 for me. 12:30 to 2. Really odd time. This is
12 to 1:30.
12 to 1:30 is 5:30 for India.
Okay, India time 6 to 7:30. Okay.
If that is a 12:30 to 2 o'clock again for me.
Yes.
So at least is that okay for all?
Yeah, for everyone it will be okay. Javed,
Okay.
please adjust for 2 days. Okay.
If it is okay with you, I think you are the one basically who needs to be available. I think the rest are okay with the timing.
Myself, you are saying?
No.
Yeah. So what I can say is because I'm talking about only 2 sessions over the weekdays, so
Yes.
I'll make it up. Okay, there's no issue.
Okay.
But other than 2, if you want to have a more sessions, then it's not possible for me that time. So Friday normally I'll work from home, so I can manage, and Wednesday I'll bit stretch. That's only I can do.
Okay, that's cool. Whatever it doesn't.
So we will have sessions on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay, Wednesday and Friday 1.5 hours, Saturday, Sunday 2 hours. Right?
2 hours. Okay.
Okay, and please make sure that every session has to be recorded.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do that. Okay. So let us discuss about the SRM overview.
Yeah.
See, first of all, the one person who worked in basically the initial version of SAP procurement process is the functionality in ERP system. So that everyone is aware of that, right? So it's the functionality which was introduced first, and then the later in 1999, 2000 onwards, the SRM 2.0 version has come up into the picture. So basically the SRM functionality is a bit user friendly. Instead of going to ECC system and going in each transaction wise access and all, it is okay for the procurement perspective, but it is not bit tough task for the whoever the end users or any the lower level employees. So that's why it is a kind of additional version, additional component to functionality. The same functionalities whatever we can handle in the same thing can be handled from SRM point of view. The complete stock procurement and non-stock procurement and all the areas. So anyone wants to have a basic idea about the functionalities, anyone is expecting that how procurement cycle works, how inventory works and all, anyone wants to know briefly?
Yeah, inventory side if you can touch, that will be good. The procurement wise, somewhat I am familiar. I don't know about the others. So.
Yeah. Okay. I think it may not be an interesting point for the Samir who worked, I think Samir or someone who worked in but fine. I'll just touch the functionalities. Just briefly I'll explain because I want to focus mainly on SRM, but I'll tell you basic information. So
Anyway,
SRM.
I'm interested here because I'm from PP background and some part of not all.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So basically is like a procurement module where we'll have so ERP is a combination of finance system and basically it's a finance system and inbound process, that is the procurement, and also outbound process, that is the sales and distribution. So it's a combination of the HR and all together as a ECC component, right? So basically if you talk about the we have the main master data contents which will be stored in that is like materials master and vendor master and info records, which is kind of information which stored right about the prices of each individual and the material combination, and the complete procurement cycle, like starting from purchase requisitions, which will be created from the procurement side or maybe from the end user side, and then the purchase requisitions moving to the purchase order. There is a process. It's just a high level process I'm talking. So once the purchase requisitions goes to purchase order, and purchase order will be sent to the vendor in a different forms. Either is scan document will be sent, or maybe a direct, if you have integration with the vendor can see the purchase order directly in the vendor portal, or it may be an EDI format, or it may be a email format. So there are different ways the purchase order can be sent to the vendor. Then it goes to the inventory point of view. Once the vendor receives the materials and he receives the purchase order, then once he dispatches the goods, and goods will be received by the store people. And once the goods receiving is done, then the accounting document, material documents will be generated, and consequently it goes for the invoicing. So it's just high level about the functionalities. Okay. Then when coming to, sorry, if you guys I'm just touching the functionality. If you guys have any kind of if I'm fast, if you are not clear, just stop me, you raise your question, I'll briefly bit slow down and I'll explain where you want to know. And the second thing is like, once the purchase order is, this procurement cycle runs, then the inventory will come into the picture. So there's a lot of configuration part to do all the business specific requirements, or maybe designing the process and everything. There's a lot of configuration which are part of MM. And also in MM we can handle the stock and non-stock procurement. So that is called, you may be aware. This is the direct material and the indirect materials. Like the direct materials are the ones which we will use for the end production part, and the indirect materials are the ones which may not be a part of the production. End product. It will be like kind of any additional components. That is a
consumables or services.
The services is again different. Indirect may not be a service. So service procurement again a different one. Who is talking about services? Javed. Okay. So yeah, I'll come to that point. But the procurement is like for the, especially my current discussion is about the stock and non-stock procurement point of view. Stock materials or stock or direct materials may be a part of end product, or maybe a part of the machineries or equipment which we will use for the production. Okay. For example, the space. Normally, any manufacturing companies, they will buy the spare parts of any big machineries, and they will store in the warehouse. So whenever they need, they can dispatch as per their maintenance schedules and all. This is a kind of stock procurement. And there are something like non-stock procurements, like just a stationery, or maybe a kind of some items like even it can be a non-stock procurement. If a user wants some item, so it will not, it's not required to store in the warehouse. It can be directly dispatched to a particular department user. So this is a kind of non-stock procurement. So that is more very user-friendly handled from the SRM functionality. So the stock procurement, non-stock procurement, and the services, as I said, services is one of the main functionalities. Like for example, there is a value which will given to the vendor. So the value is for certain 1,000 pounds, for example. So 1 million pound. So a big vendor can handle. He is eligible to handle the functionality. So what will happen is, once you deliver the once the vendor delivers the services for that value, so he will keep on sending. A contract will be, or contract or a purchase order will be raised for a particular vendor for getting a services of 1 million pounds or dollars. So what will happen is, he'll keep on. It may not be a single attempt. It will be valid for a 2-3 years or maybe 5 years. Then he will continuously send the receipt for the whatever the part of work is finished. Then he needs to get the money for that. So for that, the services will be posted in the system as a service entry sheets, and then the payments will be made according to the confirmation part. So it's a kind of service procurement. So all these are the part of MM functionalities. So then what will happen is the same functionalities which can be handled from the SRM system. Okay, so these are all every time user has to go into machine and he's to just a moment. I'll just 2 minutes. Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
So, yeah. That is the whole functionalities. As I said, that will be that can be handled from the SRM system. So I'll go to the SRM overview. Basically, just want to tell a basic view of So I just explained anyway when we are talking about SRM system configuration and master data and the other components of SRM when we are discussing. So we have to touch basic areas of as well. So when the time comes, then we can discuss in detail about the various functionalities. Okay. So so let me take you through the SRM system overview screen. Okay. This is the system landscape. So this is the system landscape of the whole SRM component. Are you able to see this?
Govardhan?
Yeah.
Govardhan?
Please tell me.
Yeah, thank you. It's good, you explained very nicely. I just want to understand a question about the previous topic. Why generally we say that indirect materials are better handled in SRM, or is it not the true thing, and we actually handle equally strongly the direct material scenarios in SRM? Means why they feel that indirect materials are better handled in SRM? Just a question, but we can take it later on also as per you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not no big discussion about this, so I can give you a brief idea why. See, as you said, the SRM current functional SRM has got some kind of limitations. Okay, there are kind of scenarios, right? Initially they come up with a classic scenario. I'll talk about those scenarios. Okay, so generally any organization, the reservation process and material requirement planning and all will be handled in ECC. Okay, so when we are talking about the stock procurement continuously handled from ECC system. So generally many organizations, they don't prefer to go the stock procurement process through SRM. Okay, and I'm not saying that it cannot be handled in a correct, from SRM. It can be handled from SRM, but only thing is like indirect materials like on-stock procurement and all. We have got a kind of catalog content management and internal catalogs or CCM catalogs, or maybe now new version MDM. So these are all moreover mainly concentrated on the indirect or the non-stock point of view. So not the stock procurement. Why? Because the complete MRP, inventory management, is handled in ECC, right? So we don't have any inventory part or any MRP part in SRM. So some or other way, again you have to depend on if you are using the direct procurement part from SRM, you have to depend completely on ECC system. Why? Because the complete the purchase requisition generation. Sorry.
Planning is done in the ECC.
Yeah, the planning, yeah, that's the correct word. Yeah, planning will be complete planning process is in ECC, and again whatever the requisitions you are generating, that needs to be again forwarded to SRM system. So that is as a planned driven procurement scenario. So yeah, I agree, it can be handled, but as of my work experience, my knowledge, I have seen many clients. Everyone is preferring for the indirect procurement and service procurement. Generally from indirect procurement from SRM, and the direct or stock procurement is completely people will handle from ECC. There are few people who are handling the other areas as well in SRM, but still I'll say generally SRM is more productive for the indirect procurement. Okay, when we go in deep, so we will have a better understanding. Maybe now we may not be much clear about this.
No, thank
Okay.
you. Thanks.
So when we go through each and individual scenario, as well as when you talk about the shopping cart functionalities and classic scenario, how it behaves, and extended classic scenario, how it behaves, then you will know what may be the limitations. Okay. So this is about the system landscape. Okay. So first of all, if anyone is trying to, in job perspective, if anyone is trying to say that SRM 7 I worked or SRM 7 I know, then general question people will ask you is, what is the difference between SRM 5 and SRM 7? Okay, and is there any major functionality changes, or maybe what generally you should also know a basic SRM 5.0 functionality in addition to the 7.0. So system landscape wise, there is not much difference. Landscape is the same. So when we talk about the each scenario, then I'll tell few words what is the difference in SRM 7 and as compared with the previous version. So then we will understand slightly about the previous version. Also, I can share some screenshots and all how SRM 5.0 functionality looks as compared to 7.0. Okay, then you should have minimum knowledge of SRM 5.0. Job point of view is very important. Okay. Then this is the system landscape. So if you see SAP Network Portal, so SRM 7.1, I think SAP Network Portal 7.01 or 1, I'm particularly not sure, but SAP Network Portal from 7 onwards, the SRM 7 functionality will be matched. You can use the minimum level of the system requirement is for the network portal is SRM SAP Network Portal 7. Okay, and the dependency on ECC is to make all the functionalities, the new features works. If you want to work on all the functionalities in the SRM 7 new features, so you should have a minimum ECC requirement as enhancement pack 4 ERP 6. ECC 6 enhancement pack 4. That is the minimum requirement from the ECC. You are able to see the mouse as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So network portal is 7 and ECC 6 enhancement pack 4 is the minimum requirement for the SRM 7 to work with ECC. Okay, this is work. And moreover, SRM MDM part we can patch to a certain extent, but MDM has got some limitations. Most of the people are not preferring to go with an MDM. The reason is like more people are convenient with what is that Ariba catalogs like SysGabu or maybe the other areas. So SRM MDM will discuss in a different session, maybe 5-6 sessions I will take for that. Console, data manager, import manager and syndicator. So basically it is a catalog content management which can be accessed from the SRM system, and the data will be maintained in SRM MDM through system and contract. So both the data can be managed in MDM, and that can be pulled through network portal. So user friendly screens will appear with the pictures and all, so they can find the item whatever they want, and that can be transferred to the shopping cart. This is another component. So you can see the MDM will be integrated between both SAP SRM as well as what is that, ECC. And then see, this is the network. Let me discuss about the network portal contents. Network portal will have, based on the user roles, on all the functionalities like service procurement and self-service process, or maybe the contract management, sourcing and bidding, complete bidding application. Bidding engine, shopping cart, all the features will be shown as individual tabs based on the roles given to the individual users, so they can access the individual tab and perform the functionalities in network portal. So the same network portal can be used for again HR and even ECC link up. So it's a common source where based on the roles it can be respective system access will be provided to the users. So might be having better idea about the net view, right? All of you guys?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's fine. So then, then coming to a BA system. BA system is again it's an analytics version. So where it will be integrated with SRM and ECC and even the catalog content management. Okay, so it is a unique system where the data will be stored from across the system landscape, SAP landscape, and provides a kind of reporting information to the organization. And where recently I think it is with the help of business objects, people are making the dashboards through this BI information, BI data. So it is more look-wise they are very attractive. So business, organizations are using the business objects for integration with BI to get the dashboard reports. So this is BI, but we have got a very good importance. Very valuable, important discussion about the BI and SRM point of view. SRM 7 has got a very good features in collaboration with BI. It was not there before in the previous versions like 5.4 or maybe other versions. But we'll discuss about the SRM reporting, SRM analytics in our regular session. And then the coming to process integrator. Process integrator is generally process integrator is not mandatory if you are not using SUS application or not using MDM application. If you are using both SRM MDM or either SRM MDM or SUS applications, then you need to have PI within the environment. So this is about SAP NetViewer integration, okay, PI integrator. So then this is one component you can see, SUS and ROS. SUS and ROS is again, as I said, supply self-service is a separate component. This can be a part of either SRM scenario. It is a business need. SUS is MMS SUS is there, again SRM SUS there. Only based on the business need or the implementation scenario, whatever SAP was implemented in the organization. So they can, based on that, they can choose. Again, in SUS also 5.0 has got some limitations in the service procurement, but 7.0 is also the same functionalities in SUS point of view, but SAP has come up with some kind of consultancy solution, so which fulfills the whatever the drawbacks in the previous version. So I will tell you when we discuss about SUS. So that's what about in the high level landscape SRM SUS and MBI and MDM functionalities. This is all about the system landscape. If anyone has got any doubts on the landscape, just let me know. We'll discuss.
What do we call technical SRM and functional SRM?
Okay, technical SRM is like is a platform. Whatever see, if you talk about SRM 5 and SRM 7, SRM 7 technical SRM 7 is like it's a completely web Dynamo based screens. Okay, and it has got some kind of capabilities, reporting capabilities, which are closely integrated with the BI. With the technical upgrade only, all these features will come into the platform SRM system landscape. So BI, as I said, BI needs to have some BI also. There's a dependency 7.1 or 7 above 7 version of the BI is required for the complete collaboration with SRM 7. So technically, this platform is like it has come up with some new features like BRF workflows. So which is a part of SRM 7. It was not there in the previous. So these are all the components which has come up through a technical upgrade. So that is what a technical SRM. People will say a technical upgrade and functional upgrade. That's what maybe your question, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, the technical in the sense of making the platform ready, in the sense with the whatever the SAP provided features will come with the technical. So I'll come to the functional point of view, we'll discuss, but the technical point of view is like with the SRM 7 you will get the BRF workflows, business will work framework flows, and like as I said, what else is like some kind of queries like Powell and work list. These are the new features. Is not the functional feature, is the technical feature. So and also integration with the BI and also possibility to integrate with MDM, but MDM is a part of even 5.0 also, you can use it the 5.0. So I can say simply the various workflows and the web code development and the integration with the network portal, and what else is like some of the SES functionalities, and kind of some dashboarding, reporting has come up and part of SRM 7. These are all the technical features of the SRM 7. Okay. Sorry, tomorrow onwards I'll keep this mobile silent, but today people are not aware. So 1 second. Okay. So this is about SRM system landscape, and someone we are in the middle of, I think, SRM. What is the functional SRM? So functional SRM is like what are the functionalities, any organization, what are the functionalities the SRM functionalities business is using. So as we said, based on the scenarios like whether the business is using complete sourcing application or not. This is one of the functional SRM point of view. In the sense, some of the organizations may be using a basic features of the SRM like creation of a shopping cart, or maybe invoicing is not complete through the SRM. Maybe a contract management is not a part of their functionality. Contracts maybe still they are handling in the ECC. So these are all the functional SRM. Whether what extent the business is using the functionality, the features of an SRM called as a functional SRM. So even I've seen so many organizations, they will not use a complete sourcing application. Just they will use creation of a shopping cart and then followed by a purchase order. And maybe if they use the sourcing also, very limited, just assigning a source, that's it. But we have got a complete supplier collaboration features in SRM, that is a sourcing application where from the shopping cart they can create either a RFX, or they can create RFX, constant RFX as a building, or maybe they can directly go for a type of cockpit. So they have got some individual features. Those are all the functionality of an SRM. They are not using, so they are not, they are limited, they have some limitations on the functionality of SRM. So it's all like, that is the technicality and the functionality. So Samir, you understand, right? What is the difference? What is the technical and the functional SRM? What raises the question?
Basically, I asked this question. I'm Javed here.
Yeah, Javed. You understand what is the difference, the functional and technical?
Okay, so far, yes.
So far, yeah. As I said,
I tell you what happened actually. I asked the guy to install SRM in my system. Okay, so he said, you want technical SRM, you want Java portal, or you want portal. Then I got confused. Then I came to know that this is technical SRM and this is functional SRM.
No.
So functional SRM basically through a portal.
No. Actual meaning for the technical SRM and functional SRM is what I said. Technical SRM is the component, technical components which are a part of SRM which comes into the picture, and functional SRM is what are the functional standard functional functions which an organization or which actually SRM is capable to provide. I can put in this way. What are the functionalities that an SRM can provide functional features, and to what extent the organizations are using? Then that is the discussion will come out the functional SRM. So people will say, if you heard about a real-time environment, technical upgrade and a functional upgrade, technical implementation or a functional implementation. Especially we are talking about 7, so obviously my upgrade word is coming from just like that, because wherever I'm working currently now, we all are upgrade projects. Okay, so what will happen is people will go for a technical upgrade and making the platform ready for any of the features that are available functionally. So then phase by phase, if they are not using all the functionalities in the previous versions, then they will phase by phase they will go for a functional upgrade. That is what technical SRM and functional SRM is. That is what exact meaning. But I'm not sure how the people maybe whoever install the SRM or something, he might be in a different way of thinking. I'm not sure really. This is what actual speaking technical and functional SRM. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll go to the deployment
So
scenario.
Govardhan, what is Trex?
Yeah. Okay. Trex is it's a search engine. Whenever you do a search process, right? Okay. In any document searching in SRM. So Trex is a component which comes as a part of SRM tag. So it needs to run to search functionalities to work. So when you go for finding a shopping cart, when you go for catalog, in the catalog if you want to find some based on the description you want to find some information. So everywhere this Trex will play a role. It's a kind of search engine. You just pick some help.sap, we will get more idea. It's not nothing to do with our SRM functional, but it has got more important role in SRM. Why? Because all the queries, all the information fetching, all the data fetching, and one more thing like duplicate documents. Like if a invoice is posted twice, then if we need to identify what is the system needs to identify whether it is duplicated or not. The Trex functionality should work. It will access the records through the search criteria. In order to work the search criteria, Trex needs to be up and running in the system. So Trex is a kind of search engine, okay, which is inbuilt features in SRM7. So it needs to up and running always. Okay, we can identify it as a regular system health checks basis. People will identify whether the Trex is up or not. It's a component within SRM, but still, like IPC, how internet price control, how it works. So it is also kind of component. It needs to be up and running always. And if you want to know something, what is that in the sense of ROS, right? ROS, what is ROS?
No.
No. Anyone know the ROS? What is ROS?
No.
Okay. ROS is okay. I didn't take you in detail, but I'll just tell you what is that. SUS is supplier self-service, right?
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting call from India. Just a moment. Okay. Just give me a minute. Next 10 hours I'll take care. But just a moment.
Okay. Okay.
Hello. 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 Okay. Hello.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah. So ROS is like SUS, as I said, supply self-service. Supply self-service is a component like supplier will be linked to the SRM or ECC system based on the implementation scenario. So they can directly view the documents, whatever the purchase order is created, or they can confirm, they can convey the information to the organization saying that I won't be able to deliver the items and I will be able to deliver on certain date. So like that is called a response to the purchase order. Okay, and also then confirming the goods. They can send once they deliver the item. They can send confirmations like I have delivered the item for certain quantity, and also like they can send advance shipment notification, that is called ASN, and also once invoice is posted in once the users confirm the goods received in ACC or SRM system, the vendor can see whether the user has received or whether he confirmed the goods received or not. And also then even vendor itself can propose a invoice from vendor side, so that comes into the system and post invoice it goes for approval and all, that is a different thing. So once it is approved, then it goes. So all is an integrated version of, it is a completely integrated with SRM, either SRM MM system based on the implementation scenario. So that is called SUS, Supplier Self-Service. Okay. So this will work again based on the portal and your portal. Vendor will be created with a SUS role in respective systems, and the document flow will be there between. So it has got some limitations, like all the vendors may not have the infrastructure, the system infrastructure, or maybe something. So there are some limitations. So that's why SUS is, some organizations are handling the SUS, some are not, and some are using the SUS functionality to certain vendors, and for the rest of the vendors they are following a different way of other functionalities. I think basically, right, the what relation between the vendor and organization. Vendor normally whenever he sends in items based on our purchase order, again he has to send an invoice. That invoice should be posted in the system in SRM or MM. So that he has got limitations. Either someone in the organization has to enter the details and create an invoice and post. If you are talking about a big organizations like per day 1,000, 2,000 invoices, if it comes, handling those invoices is a big task. So normally organizations won't prefer to do all the activities in their environment. So they will go for a third-party process of invoice processing, or maybe like they will use this kind of scenarios like SUS applications. So we'll discuss. So you got some brief basic idea about SUS, or anyone who has got any doubt?
What long form you said for ROS?
Sorry, no, I'm talking about SUS, then I'll come to the ROS.
Yes. Oh, we are good.
Yeah, supplier self-service. In the sense, supplier can get all the information, whatever he wants to know, from their end through a portal. Okay, that will be linked to either SRM system or an MM system based on the implementation process. Okay, and like ROS, ROS is registration of suppliers. Okay, so for example, an organization has got a their portal. For example, some ABC company has got their portal. So I am the supplier, and suppliers may always, in a searching mode to whom I can supply my goods. Any organization, big organizations. So there are two ways when organization can find a supplier and they will request them to send the goods, one way. And the second thing is even the supplier itself that proactively I can whatever the organization their inbound materials are very relevant to my products. So I can sell my products to particular organization. Then when I identified a organization, then what I'll think is like, okay, I want to register with them as a supplier. So this SUS portal, SUS application will provide an option to registration of suppliers. This is one of the component in SRM SUS, not SRM SUS. That is registration of suppliers. So how it works is, first of all, vendor will try to access the portal. There will be a link in the corporate portal where the suppliers can click on that and they can find the questionnaire. We'll generate a questionnaire initially. When they click on the URL, then it takes them to the SUS application, okay, or SRM or MM application. It will be linked with the ERP systems. Then what they will see is, okay, what is the main eligibility criteria? You can set up the eligibility criteria, and then you enter the. Then if they met, they can just flag it up. Yes, I'm eligible. Yes, no. Then that will be submitted. Then it comes to the central processing team, and what they will do is they will check whether the vendor has got all the capability, what is his certification, whether he has got IS-19 or something other. So they will check all the information, and then they will, if they accept, then that will directly create a master record, master data in MM or SRM system based on the criteria. So this is called a supplier registration or registration of supplier. That is what ROS. Okay.
Okay.
Again, SUS and ROS is a single component. The main function is SUS is like, as I said, document flow, and ROS is also a feature which comes from the SUS application. That's fine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you explain about ITS links and where we can see this in this diagram?
ITS. Oh, I'll tell you. Okay, because the diagram whatever I'm showing is it's SRM 7. SRM 7 view. So you guys are aware of that, right? SRM 7 now. No, frankly speaking, RAW is now an organizer. Okay, so okay, so what I'm saying is SRM 7 is still I can say it's not correct. SRM 7 still you can see the ITS screens. Okay, but all the features will not be supported in ITS, and yeah, people I have seen so many forums or any documents. SRM 7 has come up with a network portal based. Yes, network portal is there even for the 5.0 version as well, and 7.0 is completely, the difference is there are no ITS screens, completely webbed-in core screens which are integrated with the enterprise portal. So ITS is, we haven't shown here, but it is a part, but as I said, it is not fully supported like network portal. So SAP is not denying that people cannot go with ITS. Still people can use the ITS, but the functionalities will not work in a proper way. That's the recommended one, network portal. Okay, that's why the ITS component is not there in this landscape.
Okay, so basically you want to say that it is a NetWeaver component which facilitates a link to enter into SRM. It is equally same as a portal link, correct?
Yeah. It is a portal only, NetWeaver portal of portal is SAP provided portal. Okay, I think Java based portals also will be there, right? This is the SAP developed portal, which there is a kind of linkage IVUs. IVUs will be generated. Whatever the flow in SRM, that will be can be viewed through the NetWeaver portal. The total process flow can be viewed through the portal, and users can interact with the NetWeaver portal and do the transaction. That's what I want to say. Okay. Okay. So as of now, you just think only the NetWeaver portal. There is no ITS, no more ITS from this version onwards. Okay. So ITS, I think you guys are aware of ITS. What is ITS, right? One only raises the question. You might be wondering what these people are talking about ITS. Do you know, right? The ITS, Internet Transaction Server. Hello.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah, I know.
Also add some more.
Yeah. I'll tell you what is. Do you want me to tell just 2 minutes about ITS as well?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So see, earlier version.
To use it, then it is no fun.
Sorry.
No, it's better to
We are
get
not
them
going to
understand
use
it.
it.
It's only 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just. We are not going to use an SRM 7, but people even in job point of view, any interest point of view, should be a basic idea ITS. So ITS is like from the previous version, SRM 5.0 version. So whatever the screens we are getting, right, and whatever the SRM portals, you are aware SRM is a completely it can be handled from an Internet Explorer like a portal. So it is like, how it works is like there is a component called Internet Transaction Server. So SRM is a backend system. Okay, the GUI, whatever screens, the GUI screens can be accessed through the Internet Explorer or maybe some kind of web browser. Okay, that is integrated. That integration is called as Internet Transaction Server. So this component will facilitate to do the transactions over the browser. That is what ITS. So every screen that whatever we are handling can be, there will be a URL. That when you go into some transaction in SRM, BBP, I think SACF, there you can find one URL if you start the service. So that URL will provide a user interface through a browser to access the SRM system. That is what ITS. But NetWeaver portal is completely a portal technology where the same SRM system and some ECC system, some XYZ system, any ERP systems can be integrated to a portal and can be handled based on the role. It is everything role based control can be done from the portal. ITS, there is no role. Whatever the roles you have provided to the SRM, okay, SRM GUI, whatever the backend SRM system a user has got the roles. So the same thing can be viewed from the ITS. But portal, you have to have an individual, even though you have some kind of access roles in the SRM, again the portal roles are different. There you need to maintain the parallel roles in the portal. So a single kind of integration will be possible with the portal and SRM GUI. But ITS is quite different. And the portal will support, as I said, we have been pro screens now, all the developments in SRM. So SRM developments are web pro based developments. So it is completely integrated with. So when you are accessing the SRM system from the portal, it looks like the screens are completely like SRM GUI. When you access, how it looks, the same way you can see from the portal. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. Maybe verbally when I'm trying to explain, you may not be understand, but when we go to the sessions, you will have better idea. We'll see. Okay. That's a basic idea about the ITS. So ITS is basically you can access from the web browser, and now it is no more, and we are using from the portal. That's all.
Yeah, even though they say it's ITS is obsolete, even in what do you call, in the organization structure or whatever, in the attributes, they are asking it to maintain the ITS attributes,
SRM,
right?
in SRM 7, yes. As I said, it is absolute, but still it is a part of SRM component. But it will not be all the screens whatever we are getting. So as I said, we have been before, you can play around with the screen in natural portal, but that cannot be possible through ITS. Yeah, I agree. It's there, yeah, as a part of an attribute. It's there.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll take you through scenario implementation scenarios today. So then because it is a basic information that you need about the system landscape and implementation scenarios, because we will not be able to go through all the scenarios in the actual whenever I'm doing the transactions and create a shopping order, some all the process, that we will follow one scenario only. Okay, but generally you will have a understanding how the other scenario differs from the actual scenario. So I want to go through the scenarios now. Okay, so basically the scenarios are deployment scenarios are 4, which is a classic scenario, an extended classic scenario, and a local scenario called a standalone scenario and decoupled scenario. Okay, so these are the 4 scenarios which SAP introduced, and initial days only the classic and local scenario was there, and thereafter extended classic and decoupled is coming to the picture. I don't remember the version, I think 4.0 or 3.0 onwards extended classic scenario was introduced, but initial version only classic and local scenario. Either SRM can be used as a single system, or you have to depend completely on ECC system, that is in a classic scenario. There is no other scenario, there was no other scenario those days. But later the extended classic scenario has come into the picture. Now it has got a major role in total procurement process. Okay, we'll go through the individual scenario. So this is what the classic scenario. Okay, so classic scenario is like more ECC driven, ECC based procurement. For example, an organization is using they have implemented ECC, and they want to continue with the ECC all the procurement activities, and also they want to get some user interface wise or some other areas they want to get better they want to give a good user interface, and also they want to simplify some kind of process to the end users. So if that is the case, then business will think about going for an SRM with classic scenario. So in the sense, the procurement team completely use the ECC functionality, only the end user point of view and only the approval point of view, some kind of transactions can be leveraged to a simplified manner, that is SRM system. So in that case, people will go with classic scenario. So you got, and I'll tell you in more details. Like for example, the organization has got a setup procurement team. They're right now they are managing their contracts, and they're creating their RFQs. Okay, request for proposal. Request for quotations and quotation process completely, and vendor evaluation process, and everything. Source identification process. Everything they are already using in ECC system. They don't want to migrate to other system, because many organizations, especially migration is very challenging task. People are not ready to move into a different system which is new to them. Okay, it takes ages for them, not ages, at least they will plan a 10 years period, then only we will move. If we start now, basic functionality, after 5-7 years only we are ready to 100% migrate to a different system. Like that it works. That is why we got so many integrations with the legacy systems and all, interfaces development and all, a part of any SAP project. Why? Because they don't want to all of a sudden, they don't want to go with a new system. So like that, if business is already using an organization is already using a MM system for all their functionalities, and they want to give a better kind of slowly starting moving out of the system and give some kind of better features to the end user point of view, then they will go with the classic scenario. So what exactly it will do? Okay, what is the classic scenario? What is the base? What is the main criteria? What is the functionality flow in the classic scenario is? See, first of all, in SRM we have got a better feature like the approval process can be managed through a workflow, right? All of you are aware of that, right? So in SRM, for example, any document approval can be handled in a better way than ECC. And the second thing is like sourcing functionalities. Anyway, sourcing functionalities I'll talk in because we are talking only about the classic scenario. So first of all, how it works is classic scenario. It is still ECC based process. The first document in ECC is purchase acquisition in procurement process, right? So in the SRM, when you implement the SRM system in the classic scenario, a shopping cart will be generated in SRM. Okay, in the shopping cart, again you can create a shopping cart in a different ways, like taking an item from a catalog, or you can raise you can select an item from internal catalogs. This is a kind of part which is a part of previous versions of SRM. So internal item, or maybe if you want any kind of free text orders or anything, so you just initiate the request from the SRM system. This will be a part of anyone in the organization. A requisitioner may be a part of an end user who uses the ITS or maybe a network portal to create a shopping cart. Just he will go into some URL, and where he will pick up his role. Based on his role, it will show create shopping cart and create a shopping cart. That is what the triggering point. Okay. Once the shopping cart is created, then it goes for an approval. So if you think about ECC, if I create an end user needs to create a shopping cart, in the sense purchase requisition, then he has to go into some transaction and he has to pull the material. He needs a lot of lot of knowledge in the ECC area. Like he should be used to the system for a long time, or kind of training is required. But SRM, it is a bit simpler. So shopping cart can be leveraged to a ECC classic scenario in SRM, and then workflow will trigger and it goes for an approval. But in ECC again, the release strategy, so it's simply different from the approval process. And once the workflow is identify the agent or a approving manager, it goes for approval. It goes for an approval, as well as the approval approves the shopping cart. Then it starts diverting the documents into ERP again backend. Once the shopping cart is created, I don't know where is my mouse. Okay, once the shopping cart is created, then its approval is over. Then simultaneously with the same data, it creates a purchase requisitions in the ECC system. Okay, so now procurement cycle started in SRM, but the same document will be available in ECC, where procurement team, as I said, who are handling the functionalities from the ECC system, they will pick up the purchase requisition and follow up to a purchase order, and they will check whether it has got the proper vendor, proper data, everything is filled by the user or not, and then they will create a purchase order. Okay, so it just what is happening is it's triggered and approval. That's it. Then the document will be transferred. That can be replicated to the ERP system. And once the ERP system got the document, then where the procurement team will start managing the stuff. Okay. So here more of the procurement functionalities is ECC driven based. It's not SRM driven. The leading system here is DCC. One point you need to understand in the classic scenario is the leading system is ECC. Okay, that's what I want to say. And then once the purchase order is created, then it goes for, as usual, the information will be sent to the vendor and the goods will come. Then whoever is the requisitioner, he can do a confirmation. See, first of all, I'm the creator. I'm end user. I'm working in some division. I'm the creator of the shopping cart. So I have created. So finally, I am the goods recipient, right? Because I am the requisitioner, I need to confirm that I received the goods. So because I'm the end user, we want to give a better interface, better easy functionality to the end user. So we use the classic scenario. A user created a shopping cart, and then procurement team wants to continue with the ERP back system. So they have done all their analysis, purchase equation. If they want, they will go with the RFQ. Sorry, I'm using this from SRM terminology, but they will go for the RFQ quotations, and finally they create a purchase order. They'll create a contract or whatever it may be. Finally, they create a purchase order. Then again, it comes to the requisition part. He will check whether he got the items or not. Then he will confirm. He can confirm either from SRM system or from ECC system. So the confirmation option is available in the classic scenario from the SRM or ECC. So generally, our intention is to do the activity, some of the activities from the SRM. So end users will interact and do the confirmation. Once he confirms, it simultaneously creates a document. In ECC system, it creates a local document, and finally it creates a respect to actual material document or accounting documents will be generated. All the finance stuff will be managed in the ECC system. Whatever the scenario you follow in SRM, except the local scenario, so the financial postings will be in ECC system. Okay, so then confirmation is created. Respective material document will be generated in SRM. Then coming to the invoice. Okay, once the confirmation is over, again invoice can be created by a requisitioner, and it goes for the. If you want, you can set up again for invoice also workflow. Approval process, because once we have a approval process for the shopping cart, the shopping cart will already capture the cost assignment details and all the required stuff, so there is no further approval required. In a brief, once invoice is created, again it will be replicated to backend. As I said, this confirmation and invoice can be directly triggered from SRM as well, sorry, ECC as well. So you can create this document flow. I mean, first purchase equation only generated from the backend SRM. The rest of all the documents, the leading system is ERP. Simultaneously, confirmations and invoice can be managed through SRM system. This is what briefly about classic scenario. Classic scenario in a high level ERP driven scenario where the leading system is ERP. Only the functionalities like creation of a shopping cart, confirmation and invoice can be done from SRM. Okay, this is what about classic scenario.
One question, Govardhan.
Is that concept?
After the
yeah, please.
Yeah, after the purchase order creation, and how would the end user know whether he has received the goods or not?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, but see, as I said, it is not a stock procurement, basically.
Yeah.
End user, whatever he is doing, you can do a stock procurement. I'll tell you how a user will know that it is delivered or not. And
hello, Govardhan.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. Can you just show them the server?
Sorry?
Can you please show them the server? SAP system.
Server. Actually, this is the initial requirement. I need to. I want them to understand. Then I can show. It's a simple. I can show the server.
Yeah, till the end of the server, you show one scenario in server.
Scenario. I don't think that I don't have a plan today to cover any scenario in today's session. Tomorrow I have a plan actually.
Okay.
I will show the server. But see, I have a lot many things to discuss. I mean, there are three more scenarios.
Yes.
It's simple. So once I cover that, I will show just server, but I'm not going to cover any scenario today.
Okay, sorry for the interruption, Govardhan.
Okay, fine. I think my intention is you guys to understand, especially the implementation scenarios, because once we start creating the documents in SRM system, so what you guys will think is why it is not happening in this way, why it is purchase equation is not available in ECC, why only PO is available. So you will get so many doubts. So if you understand each scenario, then I will follow only one scenario to create a documents. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why any SRM consultant, the basic thing you need to understand is system landscape first, and second thing is scenarios, implementation scenarios. Any question everyone will ask you what scenario you implemented, what knowledge you have in that, what functionalities you use in the scenario. Okay, in your organization, what you did in the classic scenario, what are the leveraged to SRM, what are not, what are being handled from the ECC. These are the generic questions. That's why I'm trying to explain this basic. Okay. So classic scenario. I hope someone is asking question. Please tell me how user know that the goods is delivered. That's what the question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how the user will know is like once you create a shopping cart, as I said, the purchase equations will be generated right in the backend simultaneously. It is like RFC call, remote function call. It will the purchase equation, and then purchase order. So as soon as the purchase order is generated over there are some background jobs. Okay, like the standard jobs like clean and record and get status too. There are certain jobs. What it will do is it will capture the relevant document number, and that will be updated in the document flow history of a SRM document. Okay, then user will have an option to check status in the previous version. In the new version, there is something different. I'll show you in the screen directly. Okay. Anyway, everywhere in SRM 7 or 5, you can say that you can check the status of your document flow. Once you create a shopping cart, initially, if you check the history of your approval process, it will show whether it is awaiting for approval or approved. If it is awaiting for approval, who is the person who needs to approve for you? You know anyway your manager, but still it will show whoever is the manager and who needs to approve. Once it is approved, what is the next status? So it is created a purchase equation in the backend. It will show you the purchase equation number. Yeah, purchasing team has created the following document, purchase order. Yes, it will update it here. Okay, and then goods receipt. Then based on the goods receipt, as I said, is a non-stock item. For example, you ordered one set of shoes, safety shoes. Okay, then you got the material because in SRM, your user will have an attribute called delivery address. Okay, when you create a shopping cart, it fetches the delivery address because the shopping cart you are creating for a person, not a stock item. So you will always enter your cost center. Cost center is the division or group you belongs to. You will have a specific cost center. Okay, then you will assign the cost center to your attribute. So automatically the cost details will be captured under your division. Once the item is delivered, the item comes to you, then you know that you received the item. Okay, then you will get into the system and confirm the goods.
Yeah.
If not, you're not confirmed. Suppose you're not confirmed, you got the item, you just ignored. What will happen is the procurement team will follow up you. Boss, you got the item, and we have received the invoice from the vendor. We want to pay. Please confirm the goods. Okay. So that is how once you confirm, the confirmation number we posted in the back end. You can see the purchase order history. If you go into the purchase order ME23N or ME22N, in the below the purchase order history, the goods receipt in confirmations will be generated. Once the confirmations are generated, then invoice, okay, followed by the invoice. This is the document flow in classic scenario, okay?
Yeah, got
you
it.
need to have a better understanding in the classic and extended classic scenarios basically.
Okay.
The rest of the two are, not much actually. Those are not being used by any of the people, any organizations, but main is classic and extended classic. And what is that? Decoupled scenario. No, not standalone. One thing
is the combination.
Decoupled is combination of these two. I'll tell you where exactly the requirement comes. I'll tell you a case study there. We will understand what exactly that thing. Okay. Then coming to the extended classic scenario. Extended classic scenario is like this complete procurement process is being handled from the ECC system. Sorry, SRM system. Okay, if you see the SRM server, you will create a shopping cart, goes for approval, and then it creates a purchase order. Again, see, it's not showing all the components here, but again, the procurement team activity involves here only, where once the shopping cart is approved, if your procurement is from any catalog or a contract, okay, then automatically there is a contract or catalog in the sense the vendor and all the details will be automatically fetched into the shopping cart. Okay, then it creates a direct purchase order. No need of any procurement team intervention. Okay, but for example, if it is not a catalog or a contract based, you just created I want set of shoe against a material group. That's it. You haven't mentioned any vendor or you don't know. Then based on your product category or maybe some criteria, there is a criteria configuration part. You will know when we actually do the
purchase order complete, incomplete. Right?
Yeah, no, shopping cart has got all the information, okay, in the sense cost assignment and supply, source of supply, everything you provided, okay, then it straight away create a purchase order, once it got approved.
Okay.
Okay, and if it hasn't got the required information, okay, then it goes to the sourcing application based on your configuration settings. Okay, then if you are not configured, you are not at all using what is that called, sourcing application. Okay, so that is called sourcing cockpit. If you are not using sourcing cockpit, if you are not configured, there are organizations they don't use the sourcing application. So then it creates a purchase order, but it will not be in an order status. It goes to held status. Okay. Then someone has to go into the purchase order. They have to check what is the error, what is missing. Then they have to fill the data and process further. Okay, and then the purchase order is created. Here, actual document flow into the backend system will start. Once shopping cart is created, then approved, and there is no purchase requisitions like classic scenario. Classic scenario, you can see there is a purchase requisition created.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but in extended classic scenario, there is no purchase requisition at all. Directly purchase order will be generated. Okay, and then once the purchase order is generated, then you have an option of sending the purchase orders directly from the SRM system to vendor. You can see here. Okay, or there is an option you can send the purchase orders either from SRM or from ECC. If you don't want to send from here, you can send it from even ECC also. It's not shown here, but it's possible to send everything from ECC because the document is getting created in ECC. Okay. Okay. Then the confirmation. Once the purchase order is done, everything is smooth. Then you got the items. You can confirm the goods from here. Okay, and the same goods, once you created a confirmation here, it creates a local document number, but the final material document will be generated in the ECC system. Okay, that is called replication. You can see dotted lines indicates the replication. It's not actual creation. Once initially it is created from the SRM and replicated to ECC, because this is the main finance control system. Finally, invoice will be posted, payment then happens in the ECC. Okay, then coming to the invoice. Okay, where the invoice is. Invoice will be posted in SRM and again replicated to main finance system, that is ERP. Okay, so the document flow entirely happens from SRM and replicates to ECC. This is the scenario where extended classic scenario. This is how it works. The leading system is SRM. Okay, and still I want to tell you the confirmations can be done from ECC and invoice can be done from ECC. No, it's not mandatory. You have to do confirmation only from the SRM. But people will not, people who have got the SRM access, normally they should not, people will not provide any organization. They will not provide access to both the systems. If an end user in the sense, you will have access only to the SRM server if you integrated, if you implemented extended classic scenario. Because if you have again user ID for you, again it's a cost for the organization, right? Licensing cost.
Yeah.
So generally, users will have access to the SRM, and only the respective people, whoever is responsible for the ECC transaction, they will only have the access to ECC, not for all. Okay, then that's all. Invoice flow is, so here what I want to say is the total document flow happens in SRM and the leading system is SRM. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other point, I think the purchase order cannot be updated in ECC for in extended classes, right? Classic.
Not updated. It will be replicated.
Yeah, it will be replicated, but the live document is in SRM server. Any
Live
updations or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Okay, your question is like, cannot be updated. No, you cannot modify the purchase order directly in ECC.
Yeah.
If it is just an SRM purchase order, you cannot modify. You have to do a change here. Then, and one more thing, if the document is completely correct without errors, then only it will transfer to ECC. Before it will not. It will be in error status or maybe held status, some other status. It will not be available. It will not be transferred. A error, insufficient data information document will not be passed to ERP.
Okay. And how does it? And everything goes through what do you call RFC connections or what?
Yeah, RFC connection for the purchase order. We have different modes of transferring from data from here to there. Confirmations will have an IDOC process, okay, and invoices will have an IDOC process. Purchase orders are through RFC, okay, and sending the purchase orders to vendors. There is a program which runs and it sends information to the vendors. There are different ways, but purchase order, as I said, it is through RFC, okay. There is no background job or something, it sends the information. And communication channel is RFC, confirmation is IDOC, and invoice is IDOC again. Okay.
Okay.
We need to maintain the partner profiles and all to generate the IDOCs and all. This is kind of configuration stuff. I'll show you that later.
Okay.
Okay. Coming to, I want to quickly conclude. So coming to the local scenario. See, local scenario is people who are not using ERP, I mean SAP based ERP system at all in their organization. Still they can go with an SRM implementation, I mean SRM system implementation. This is where the local scenario or standalone scenario will work up, but still they should have not ERP backend. I mean, okay, ERP is not SAP specific, right? So they should have again finance system available in their environment. Okay, the total finance, payment process, maybe the finance documentation, all the stuff cannot be handled by the SRM. SRM is limited to only the kind of local area where you can create purchase order, shopping carts and all. But the finance transactions, you need to have a individual system that is a finance supported system, either Oracle or something else, if not SAP. So what will happen is, like extended classic scenario, all the features and all the functionalities will happen in SRM in a standard scenario, but finally the invoice posting and the payment process will be transferred to, once the invoice is generated in SRM, that will be transferred to the finance supporting system, and there they have to make a payment to the vendors. So that will not be supported in SRM. Okay, this is what standalone scenario. Here there is no SAP component in backend. Only the SRM, only the system, which will support through some kind of communications channels, either PI or maybe IDOC or maybe some other communications. Because I really don't know how the local scenario communication happens, because I haven't seen anyone using this functionality. Okay, so the communication, because within our system, like SAP system, we can have a RFC call or something. So for this, it's not possible, right? So only the way is, sorry.
I think, Ravi, this is what your organization uses, right?
Yeah, I am about to tell you that Govardhan, we are using a bond system for the finance related activities.
What is that?
So as you said, we have IDOCs and bond. We use bond as a package.
Oh, I understand. Okay, Ravi, then there might be some middleware also, either PI or maybe some other middleware. If you are getting an IDOC in the sense, you will not get directly from your bond. There will be a middleware.
Yeah, PI is
The web methods or something.
Yeah, I think PI and some other few interfaces also there to move the.
Generally, when we prefer PI is like, yeah, of course, it is a very good middleware which is integrated closely with what is that SAP. With the other systems, but still PI has come into the picture recently. I mean, recently in the sense nowadays it has become popular, but many people are using, I know some people are using JCats, some people are using, I know wherever the clients I work, some people use JCats, and now recently they are migrating to PI, and some people are using web methods. Like there are different middlewares. Then only the information will be passed to the backend system, I mean any finance supported system, and it can talk each other through IDOC manner, as he said. That's true. Okay, this is what local scenario, and then coming to the decoupled scenario.
Govardhan, I'm not sure in my organization fully. So how they do this vendor master application through ECC, right?
Vendor master application. See, if you don't have a ECC, you have the ECC system.
No, they don't. SAP ECC, no.
Yeah.
Okay, then how? No.
Configuration.
No, the person who is asking the question is like who discussed about the local scenario, the same guy. I can't see his name actually here. Okay, I'll tell you how they might be using the vendor master.
This is Ravi.
Hey, Ravi. Okay, Ravi. Local scenario, how it works? Vendor replication. There will not be any vendor replication process. Okay, they will create the vendors directly in the SRM. Okay, that is one way. And the second way is there might be some other interfaces. Okay, it sends vendor required fields, required information to SRM through a middleware. Then the IDOC will create the vendor in the SRM. There are two ways: either sending through an interface, or there is one way, and the second way is sending directly creating in SRM. Either of these ways might be. If it is a bulk activity, they will send. No, there might be some or other interface. If the organization is small, something, no, they will generate. They will create directly within SRM.
Okay.
Hello, Ravi, is it clear?
Okay, I will try to grab some more information and I will share it with you.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Okay. There might be some interface. If not, then definitely the manual creation only. There's no option. Okay. So this is all about this local scenario. We'll go to the decoupled scenario. So decoupled scenario is like, see, if we need features of both classic and extended classic scenarios, then people will prefer decoupled scenario. Okay. When I was discussing about the local scenario, it was not a part of the diagram, standard diagram. I have picked up from some of the SAP materials from these diagrams. I haven't prepared. These are the standard diagrams. Okay. So what I can say is like in the classic scenario, you have an option. I forgot to discuss that point. When you're creating a shopping cart, right? You can create a shopping cart in the classic scenario for a stock item as well. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So what happens is when you create a shopping cart for a stock item, as I said, if you're creating a shopping cart for a non-stock item, then it creates a purchase requisition, right? I said in the back end. But when you're creating a shopping cart for a stock item, okay, based on the material type, it will identify that it is a stock item. It creates a reservation in ECC system. Reservation. Okay. So once the reservation is created, so reservations are getting created from a shopping cart. So this is also maybe a kind of requirement for any organization, right? So I'm a field engineer. I'm working in some division. So I need some item which is already available in the store. Okay. So I'm leveraging the organization is diverted all the functionalities, end user functionalities SRM system. So I am the end user. I want to create I need an item. So how can I create a reservation? I can directly get into the SRM system, create a shopping cart and create a reservation. Okay? So it creates a reservation here other than the purchase requisition. Okay? Then as usual, reservation creates and the goods issue program will issue the material, or maybe store people will issue the goods against the reservation. In SRM extended classic scenario, you don't have such an option to create a directly in the extended classic scenario. You are not, system has got limitations. You are not allowed to create a reservation directly. Okay. If you purely implement extended classic scenario, so you don't have an option to create a reservation. So what you have to do is, there is some baddie which is SAP supported baddie which is given in decoupled scenario. So if you implement that, it gets both the functionalities like extended classic scenario. It is again a leading system for all the procurement activities, creation of the shopping cart and purchase order and all the stuff. Okay, and then see here again he has shown that based on the product category purchase requisition, either it can be a purchase requisition or again it can be a reservation. Okay, so it supports both the features through a baddie implementation. So this is called a decoupled scenario. So if you I'm sorry, I just diverted in my see I was talking about my client where we implemented the baddie, but it's okay. Let me tell you, if you implement a decoupled scenario, then it supports both the functions of extended classic and classic, but there is a limitation, like as I said, you need to go within a separate baddie implementation versus standard baddie which SAP provided. We need to use. That's what actually in our organization we are following. I have worked in 2 different projects. Both are using this scenario. Okay, because they want to create reservations as well as they want to follow the SRM system as a leading system for all the procurement activities. So we are using this scenario. Okay.
Okay.
So basically here
Yes.
confirmation is taking place in SRM server as well as invoice. Okay, and are they being replicated or are they being confirmed in ERP?
No, as I said, these will be replicated to ERP.
Okay.
Okay, so once you do the confirmation, it creates some local document number. Immediately it transfers to backend. Backend simultaneously, again because the purchase order is already available. So again is the purchase order. Material document will be generated. The document number again will be updated in the confirmation screen. You can see in the confirmation screen history, you can see the local confirmation number and backend document number as well. You can see the backend material document number as well. So that is how it is the two ways. Creation is here and replicates to SRM, and again the details will be, replicates to ECC, details will be coming back to SRM. That is how it works.
Okay.
Okay, and the invoice also same. Invoice, when you create it creates a local document number, and finance it post in the finance system, and the invoice, actual invoice number will be updated here. You can see it here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So this is, and as I said, if you are really if you have an authorization, or if you have a posting authorization, confirmation authorization in ECC, you can do the transactions from the ECC as well. But it is not an official manner, like that's the reason you cannot. It was not visible, because the whole intention of getting into extended classic scenario is to doing the activities to SRM system, not ECC. That's why. But still, system it is possible, if you ask me. Okay. And also, nowhere we discussed, even unless until you work practically, you will not know. Even the purchase orders, whatever created in the ERP, right? As I said, some stock procurement still organizations will handle from the ECC system. Okay. Once a daily MRP runs takes place, it creates a purchase requisition, and the auto jobs will create a purchase order. Those are the stock purchase orders. If they create in the ECC system, still those stock purchase orders can be confirmed from SRM. If we have a central role in the sense you are the procurement person, okay, you are now, if you implement an extended classic scenario, all the buyers team, the procurement team will be using the SRM system, not the ECC system. In that case, even store people can pick the stock purchase order, which is not a part of SRM. It's actually not created in SRM. It is not available in SRM. But still, you can find the purchase order through a central role, and you can confirm from SRM. Okay. So it talks simultaneously, and live environment, directly talks to the backend system, SAP system, and it allows you to create a confirmation. Okay. This is nowhere in the document you will find, unless until you specifically say it somewhere. This is how it works.
Which is not created through shopping cart, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying. The purchase order itself is not, as I said, it is a stock procurement which is completely handled by an ECC system.
Okay, understand.
Still, as I said, I'm not going through in detail.
Okay.
Yes, stock procurement can be handled from SRM, but most of the organizations, they will do the stock procurement in the ECC itself. Okay. When they are doing the ECC procurement, but as I said, the procurement team is completely using the SRM system. There are reasons why people wants to migrate to SRM system. I'll tell you at one point. But when the procurement team is handling completely from the SRM, then they won't be able to access the ECC and do the transaction confirmation. Okay. I mean, end user can do anyway. I agree totally. But auto created purchase orders and all, there will not be any end user, right? Okay, so purchase orders will be created automatically from the purchase requisition. Then only central role persons or the store people can do the confirmation. That can be handled from SRM system also. Okay.
Okay.
Sriram or anyone, maybe it's a high level, very detailed information I'm trying to give in a short time. So are you comfortable, or anything you're feeling that is uncomfortable?
No, I'm okay. Actually, I'm getting a better understanding actually.
Sorry, tell me. What is your understanding, please?
No, I'm getting a better understanding, so don't worry.
Okay. Good.
If I don't understand, I'll definitely raise my hand.
No, I understand that I got a different in the sense what is the different. That's what. Okay, you got a better understanding. Good. Okay. I hope. I just gave an outline about how the system architecture and how the actual implementation scenarios will work. So I'll try to show the process, completely SRM driven processes, like extended classic scenario from the next class onwards. Okay. So it is initial level information where you will have a good idea about implementation scenario. Then only you will I'll cope up with me in the next sessions whenever I'm talking about anything. You will think what will be the following document you can know. Huh?
Yeah. Rao wants to talk to you.
Yeah, Gordon Rao here. Sorry for this.
Yeah, Rao. Yes.
I just want to know how the master data, is it replicated from ECC to SRM, or
yes,
or both ways?
Yes. Okay, I'll tell you. Master data, if you want to replicate from SRC, I want to do a stock procurement from SRM. As I said, that is called a direct procurement. Okay, I can do. How it replicates is, I want to have my, for example, backend. The material data is again company code and plant level, right? Material master. So if you want to create a direct procurement, okay, you should have that material available in SRM.
Okay.
Right? So you need to replicate that materials from ECC to SRM. There is a way, okay, initial load, and thereafter you can do frequently the delta load. There are programs, I'll tell you, it is very simple information, okay. And also you don't want to replicate all your materials. You want to replicate only certain limited materials to SRM, okay. Then you can control based on the product category. Whenever you are creating a material, you will assign that material to a material group or product category, right?
Yeah.
So we can control whatever the material groups we want to replicate to SRM.
Okay.
You can set up the filter settings. Okay, like vendors will be controlled based on the account group of the vendor. You know, right? Okay, the account group of the vendor you can select. I don't know. Maybe people are not having background. I'm sorry if I say. Okay. So what will happen is, in we will differentiate the vendors based on the account group. Okay, in the sense, and there are a set of foreign vendors. There are a set of only finance vendors. They are nothing to do with the purchasing and all. So we will differentiate all the vendors based on the account group. Okay, then only the purchasing vendors you want to replicate to SRM, not all the vendors. So we can replicate only the certain vendors based on the filter setting or a account group. We can do that.
Hey, Govardhan, is it the account group or the account assignment?
No, account group. Account assignment is a different that you are talking in a cost perspective. Account assignment will come when you create a shopping cart, you need to do a account assignment. When you create a purchase order, you need to do. That is the account assignment is different. Okay. Account group is different, but that is applicable to the vendor master.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys that you should have a basic background. Okay. If not, at least you should understand how the functionality will work, because SRM is purely, I'm not saying once you're comfortable with SRM functionalities, you need to worry about but still should have a basic idea how the procurement process happens in the SRM. That will give you, anyway, as and when chances comes, I will just highlight the features of MM as well. Okay, that's more than enough. You need not to go into the system, work on the system really.
Okay.
So this is what I want to cover in today's session, and tomorrow I'll plan, because it's a short notice. Yesterday Sravanti told me, because I don't have a very clear idea how can I split and how can I divide, but I'm sure that I can cover all the syllabus in 35 to 40 classes. Okay. Whether it in the flow, it may goes to some 15-20 minutes. If it is extending, you guys tell me that I'll stop wherever you guys want. Okay, then we can continue the next session.
It's fine. What about the study material? Can you provide that?
I don't know anything. I think I have to speak to Sravanti. Let me speak to her, okay? Study material part. Is there anything they have the plan, or I need to provide?
You might be having some notes you can share with us, so everybody of us will be benefited.
Definitely. You guys have any material? You guys try to gather some material anywhere?
Yeah, we got few documents actually. For side, we have the TSCM 50.
And what is the latest? Those are the latest versions or the old versions? Which year?
Let me see. That's 2006 Q2.
Oh God, it's very old. Now we are running in 2011 enhancement pack 5 of ERP. Okay.
They have enhancement pack 6 also.
Yeah, so but I have something on
but anyway, sorry,
you have a basic idea with that also.
Okay, fine. When anyway you are going to the document, it's better to have a.
About the SAP SRM study material.
I agree. SRM study material. I think who Javid is talking, right? Yeah. Please give me some time. We'll discuss the next session, or maybe the coming after the Wednesday session. I'll talk to the Sravanti in which way we can, what they promise to you guys, and will they provide any material or not. I'm not sure really. This is the first session, and yesterday she spoke to me regarding this class. I said fine. Okay.
But, sorry, I have one quick question.
Yeah.
Rao here.
Rao.
it's when it comes to SRM technical, so I'm not sure whether you have technical knowledge. But what I hear from people is SRM functional people should know technical as well. Am I right?
To be frank, market will look for a person who is a techno-functional in the point of view.
Oh, okay.
Really,
Yes, go ahead, please.
yeah, people will think about, should have a minimum technical skills. Totally, I agree. See, with luckily that maybe SRM 7 is giving a good option to the functional guys who can handle independently from the technical guys. In the sense, not fully. Anyway, if you want to develop a code for an program, if you want to write any screen you want to develop, not screen. What I can say is if you want to develop any program enhancement program or something, definitely still functional guy is required. Okay, sorry, technical guy is required. But the thing is, people will not think that a person, functional guy, should develop a program. They will think only whether he has got a problem resolving skill or not. Whether he can at least debug a program, or he can do a. I will say that I can even really I cannot debug any very big, large, any critical programs. I can do a basic programs, and I'm sure that I can do a changes at the table level in debugging mode. Okay. When I worked in a support project 3 years back, really I used to struggle for SRM is a critical, not critical, it's a user system. It's not standard system 5.0. There are so many issues. Okay, we should know some or other skills like managing the issues. So we used to do debug mode. We used to change the table level changes and all. So those skills may be sufficient. And coming to the other areas, like people used to think for workflows, someone has to go into the workflows, debug, or maybe analyze the workflow, get the error causes. Maybe it is not finding the proper agent to approver and all. So nowadays, anyway, SRM 7 has come up with the configuration part, right? It's a completely BRF workflows are the completely configuration. Also, still need kind of implementation, bad implementations and kind of programs. But major is configuration. Okay. So coming to the screens, web screens, whatever the fields, right? So really, I don't know how people used to manage before. Now, a functional consultant, I've gone through. I haven't done really, to be frank, any screen enhancement. I worked in SRM 7 upgrade project, 2 projects, and recently we completed one blueprint as well with POC. But what I can say is, it's very simple. Screen, you can earlier there was a big CR, change request has to raise the business for changing a screen. Okay, now very simple. You can handle the screen enhancements. A functional guy can do that. You can hide a field. You can create a new field. Whatever you want, you can do. It's very simple.
So those parts, will you walk us through?
Yeah, we'll definitely. We will discuss. I think it is a part of SRM 210 material. Okay, so definitely when it comes to this discussion, I will take you guys. But I think it is an individual learning as well. You guys have to put more efforts. Okay, to
because what happens is, I have seen some of the openings. Gordon, why I'm asking is I have seen some of the openings. They're asking from 210, SRM 210. Requirements. So that is the reason I'm asking. Anyhow, are you going to cover this?
That is 6 point. What is that? SRM 210. No. See, it's wrong actually. SRM 210 is a configuration document. Okay, it is Siemens. In India, people will say Siemens document. Maybe SRM standard material 210. So when you're talking about the certification point of view, SRM 210 and SRM suppliers relationship management, there is no document number for that. And like something 270 is for MDM. So these are all the part. 210, when you read the 210, when you go through the document and when you really practice that system in the system, then you will understand configuration, how configuration needs to be done between SRM and MM and other systems. Okay. That is what SRM 210 will say. That we are going to cover the completely the SRM 210. My syllabus is completely in SRM 210. Okay.
How about middleware?
Sorry? Middleware, PI. No, really PI is not our part. PI will be handled, PI configurations and PI stuff will be handled by PI team. It's not our part really. Okay, yes, but I'm telling you, it's not required. And practically, if you ask me, because I am in a live from last 4 or 5 years, people will not ask you, will you do the PI settings? No.
But you will give idea, right? How pull the data from CRM?
Don't worry. I'll cover that as well. Okay.
It's like pulling and pushing from these two.
I should limit to certain extent where I will limit. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay. I think fine. I just explained whatever the things I know, and I hope you guys
Please
also.
send the recording. I have put my email ID.
Oh,
So
sure,
recording
definitely.
save and just mail it to us. I have put
Definitely.
my email ID.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Govardhan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
thanks a lot, man. It was nice.
Bye.